folks, it's me, Hannah. Hey! Okay, so here's the thing. Coming out is one thing, especially if it's coming out way after puberty, um, like I did. I came out in my late 30s. It tends to get a little trickier um, if the coming out is in like after the mid 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Yep. If you're one of those folks who are getting to come out um, in the 20s, maybe even in the teens, maybe even before puberty. If you're watching this video and you have not reached puberty, you should first go get your parent or your guardian, because you should not be watching this video by yourself. So anyways, if you're getting to come out in your 20s or earlier, you should consider yourself very, very fortunate, because it's likely that, but unfortunately not always, it's likely that you're also getting to come out within the protection of family. What I mean by that is, if your parents were still alive, then and they were supportive of your transitioning, then you're pretty much all set, because you got yourself this family support there. And if you had siblings at those young ages, your siblings are probably also more likely to be supportive of your transitioning at those ages. Additionally, you might even benefit from like from the social structure associated with your family. So you might even be able to get community support, the community that your family's in, to yeah, to in your transitioning process thingy. So it's if that's the case, then you're pretty much all set. I mean, you're likely to be able to transition, in a nice, safe environment, without much pressure. Socially, you're pretty much all set. It's a little trickier if you're coming out later, like in the late 30s, in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Yeah, because it's like this. The mind and the body is like a symbiotic relationship. The way we conduct ourselves, our confidence, the way we act and stuff is fully integrated with the type of physique that we have. So yeah, for example, I like to do this a lot with my hands. one thing, it's because I have these big heavy hands, so it just feels cool to do this, this action with my hands. Um, but yeah, you might see similar actions with those uh, with with long fingers, and stuff. They might also enjoy doing this. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's a form of attraction, that they are like subconsciously trying to display. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe I am subconsciously trying to display a form of attraction. Are you feeling attracted to me now? Mm, well, I guess not. So at least you got the point that I was trying to make. It's like fully integrated. The behavior is fully integrated with the physique that we have. And then we have the hormones. Yep. So if you were coming out into living full time um, in your 20s, maybe even earlier, and for example, if you were still young enough to be living with your your um, your parent and our parents and our guardian and our guardians, um, then the main obstacle that you would probably have is getting the approval of your parents and our parent and our guardian and our guardians. Yep. After that, it's pretty much like it's likely going to be smooth sailing for you. That's because physically your body is likely still young enough that it hasn't like ventured too deep into one direction or another in terms of like sexuality. So, yeah. Now, if you were coming out at an older age like I did, um, I came out in my late 30s, and I started fully dressing up when, and started my HRT in my early 40s. Well, then things get a little trickier because, at least in my case, my body had already adapted, um, like my bone structure, my muscular structure, um, my voice, you know, my voice box, um, my my mental image of myself, um, my male pattern baldness, um, all those things had already set in, and I was, for all intents and purposes, a fully grown man. So, yeah, it gets even trickier if, for example, um, like me, I am living like in my own apartment. I'm paying 100% of my own rent and expenses and stuff. And I have a job, and I couldn't just leave my job and to go out and do surgeries and stuff. And so there, uh, there's a lot more like um, the the whole transitioning process requires a lot more planning and strategizing, and also a lot more like trying to like work with the work schedule and stuff. So in my case, you know, there's my work's pretty physical, and so I I had to do a lot of research into like recovery time and potential downtime and stuff, um, about these like treatments and surgeries and stuff. And I had to really, really like find out the nitty-gritty details about them so that I could plan accordingly, so that my transitioning would have like minimal impact on my job. Yep. Um, yeah, at this point, I don't I don't even have anybody to send me to the hospital for my bottom surgery. So, yeah. So, I don't know how that's going to happen, but um, yeah, I'm sure something might turn up, you know, when the time comes. Yep. But anyways, that takes us to the fun part, the next episode. So this has been the first episode of my first 12 months series. If this video has positively impacted your life, please click on the like button below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe by clicking on the big beautiful subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, then thanks for subscribing. Laters.